Hello. So, I haven't done a YouTube video on my channel in a long time. Didn't really feel like doing anything else. Probably did a lot of my old videos because they were cringy little kid videos that I did when I was young. But today, I guess, is more serious and it's more, I guess, it's complicated but it shouldn't be, and I'm gonna say why. So Gen 3 Venus is a character in Monster High Gen 3 Generation 3, and they are a black coded character. And when they came out, a lot of people were either really happy or really upset, and I'm somebody who was really happy seeing a character like Venus. And I, at first, was not a big fan of Gen 3. I did not like a lot of the designs of the first wave of Claudine, Dracula, Frankie, Cleo, and Laguna. I didn't like them. Wave, like, Core Refresh Wave has fixed a lot of the stuff I didn't like originally. Claudine, I'm still iffy about. A little bit of Frankie, but Frankie's doing a bit better. And a lot of other characters are doing better too. But Gen 3 Venus, on the other hand, I was like, wow, look at them. They look so cool. Oh my gosh, somebody who looks like me, has hair like mine. Oh my gosh. It was like a big deal to me anyway. Seeing a character who looked like me, when originally the only ones who were there were Claudine, Howleen, and Honey Swamp, and Claude. But you know, everyone knows the story of Howleen's design got revoked. Her curly hair got taken away for pink hair. And Claudine never had hair that looked like this. And it was really sad. And then we come to today's issue. When everyone thought Gen 3 Venus was weird or whatever, and why did she look like this? Like, she never looked like this before. I'm kind of done with thinking or hoping that Gen 3 of Monster High is going to cater to the older audience. It's going to cater to the older audience, because why should they? We were kids when we liked them. And of course I can, like, in my heart be like, I hope we'll have some Skelectors or collector dolls come back. But that's not the case anymore. It's for a different gen. This is basically a whole brand new character. It's not the same character anymore. Gen 3 Venus is from Boo York now. They're not the same Gen 1 Venus as they were before. And then we get to the issue of rerooting. I can't reroot. I'm never gonna reroot it all ever. I'm not the type of collector to reroot anything. I never want to do that ever. But people have been rerooting Gen 3 Venus to have straight hair. And this isn't like a great thing to do. And the first reason is like comment sections. And this is specifically on Instagram. These are only posts I've seen on Instagram of people rerooting Gen 3 Venus to have straight hair. And that's very harmful, because there will always be comments in the comment section of people going, she's so much better now. This should have been how she originally looked. This is so much better. Blah, 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 blah. Why is it better for a character like Venus to have straight hair? Why is that better? Why is that better? Why is hair that looks like mine better? Because it's not. And it's really harmful. And in comments I've seen of those videos of people hoping that Gen 3 Venus looks like Gen 1 Venus. Like, it just is, it's really harmful, because I've seen so many comments of people saying that she's an ogre, or saying that they wish she looked how she did originally. She's green. She's not black. She's green. She has black hair. Specifically, dreadlocks. She has dreadlocks because they use the same type of hair for the Little Mermaid live action doll, and they have the same exact hair. Obviously the Hailey Bailey doll is a bit different. Then the Gen 3 Venus, they have a little bit more of wavy hair. But for this Venus and people rerooting them, it's really harmful because not a lot of people realize that rerooting Venus, it does more harm than good. And I know there's people out there who just reroot to have fun and they just want to see how she would look with straight hair. And I'm coming at this at the most like normal like way I can. It's okay to give Venus straight hair. It's not okay to not acknowledge nasty, rude comments about saying like she's better now. This is how she originally should have looked. Straight hair is better or whatever, or giving her blue eyes because Gen 3 Venus has brown eyes. Those comments are very harmful. There were 2 pictures. I'm not fancy. This is the first YouTube video I'm doing in a long time, but there were comments on these posts of somebody said that textured hair is ugly. I'm not racist for saying that. How are you not? How is that not rude to say to millions of people who have textured hair? Like, I don't know how that's not rude to say, or racist, because the last time I checked, majority of the people who have textured hair are people of color. Specifically black people of color who have 4C hair. I have 4C hair. So is this hair automatically ugly because it's on my head? No, it shouldn't be. It just feels really harmful that a lot of the rerooters and repainters who have rerooted Venus to have straight hair, they don't acknowledge the rude comments. One picture that I'd seen had turned off the comments because a lot of people, specifically the comment that I had under the post, who had called texture hair ugly and it's only ever going to be ugly and they'll only ever see it as ugly, they turn those comments off and they're like, I don't care. Like showing a picture of Nicki Minaj having straight pink hair. I'm not saying that black people can't have straight hair. We can have straight hair. We can. But there will always be dolls that have straight hair. Like Barbie, for an example, is one doll brand that, when I was little at least, they didn't have good black Barbie dolls. It was never a good doll. Like Barbie dolls when I was little, they still, like black Barbies anyway, they still technically had blue eyes and they just had straight hair. It was just Barbie but brown. It didn't feel like a different Barbie doll that looked like me because like her hair was still straight. My hair wasn't straight. Naturally anyway. If a black woman has straight hair, she got her hair to get like that. Like it took a lot of time. It didn't take like 2 seconds for her to have hair like that. But seeing all of these reroots, it just, I understand wanting to see Venus, Gen 3 Venus specifically, as her Gen 1 counterpart, but you could just undo the hair that she has and just make it look crimped. I've seen a person on Instagram called Maddie Dolls do a really good like restyle-ish with Gen 3 on one side and Gen 1 on the other, and then I don't know who they are. I don't know their pronouns, but they mixed them in the middle. So they looked like both of them combined, but they kept Gen 3's hair like looking black. And I don't think a lot of people understand how important that is. in the Monster High world anyway, because I can count on one hand how many people have textured hair. It's Honey Swamp, Halloween, in Gen 1 anyway, and that's it. And then they backtracked on Halloween, so she didn't have textured hair anymore. But for Gen 3 anyway, there's Venus, there's Claude, there's now Claudine because they gave her braids, and then there's Caddy. That's fair. I mean, that's so fun. I mean, it's so good to see dolls like me represented in Monster High, because I always felt represented for Claudine. Like, I understood that she didn't have like textured hair completely and her hair was like wavy and curly, but I still felt myself through Claudine. But I was always sad that she didn't have hair like mine. Same with her sister Claudia. She had long, slightly curly blonde hair. And there's no doubt in my mind that hair wasn't her. And there's always the debate about if wolves are black in Monster High or not. They're black coded. Come on. I think we're past the thought process that they're not black. They are black. I see them as black anyway. Lots of people who are black creators also see them as black. We see our people like through the wolf family. But the rerooting situation, it's very upsetting. Because why? I am okay with rerooting Venus to have straight hair. It's not a terrible thing. It's not the worst thing in the world. I get it. It's a piece of plastic. It's not gonna hurt anybody's, but it does hurt feelings, and feelings matter, and children matter, because these dolls are made for kids. And obviously the people who are rerooting are adults. But imagine being a 13-year-old or a 12-year-old or a 10-year-old, and you have Instagram for some reason, and you see people rerooting your favorite doll to have straight hair, and you're a child who has textured hair, and you're like, wait, why did they do that? I thought their hair was so cool. What happened? And obviously you could do stuff for fun. You could do stuff for fun. I have to keep reiterating that you can do this for fun. It's so, like, the people who reroot and do repaints, they're so talented. Those people are so talented. But I have the issue with leaving these comments up and just being fine and not caring and not acknowledging that there are a bunch of rude, nasty, racist people who are against Gen 3 Venus as a whole. Like, they don't like her. They don't like how she looks. They don't like how she's styled. But a lot of these restyles don't change much. They'll just either straighten her hair and do a few repaints on her clothing, or they'll make her eyes blue as well. I find more issue if you give her straight hair and make her eyes blue, because majority of people have blue eyes. And, well, okay, the most well-known eye color is brown. And honestly, it makes more sense that Venus has brown eyes anyway, because she's a plant monster and like dirt and stuff, so that makes a lot more sense in my brain. But painting her eyes blue and then giving her straight hair, people are gonna always be like, oh, black people can wear wigs, oh, black people can wear contacts. I get it, we can. Nobody's saying we can't. Nobody's saying we can't. But I do find more issue with having Gen 3 Venus having these repaints and not acknowledging that it's gonna do more harm than good. It's gonna do more harm than good, and I hope that people understand that. And as somebody who's black, African American, it hurts. It hurts to have people online, I know they're all strangers, but it hurts to have people be like, this is so much better. This is what she should have looked like originally. Why? We are not going back to 2010. I miss old Monster High. I love old Monster High. It was so fun. Granted, a lot of the stuff was like questionable. It was very of its time, but it was groundbreaking for what it was. Like, a lot of the characters were very unique and wonderfully detailed. But now Gen 3 has arrived, and it's time for something new. But we should not take away what has been given already to Monster High fans, especially African American Monster High fans. There's a problem in the Monster High community of not having characters who look like me. I get they're monsters, but those monsters are going to be emulated in our own culture. So it makes sense to have characters who have the same facial features as I do to be in Monster High. And again, this is a different universe. Granted, I don't feel like they should have went the whole multiverse thing, but it's present and it's not going away. So please don't act like Gen 3 Venus is the same character as Gen 1 Venus, because they're not. They're two completely different characters. They'd honestly probably like each other. They probably have a great time talking about life and talking about the planet and like how you have to be respectful to the planet and the earth and recycle. They probably live it up great. But I just find so much issue with this whole rerooting, reprocessing thing. And I get it's a toy. I understand that. Nobody has to say in the comment section, it's a toy, womp womp. It's a toy, blah blah blah. Why are you so hung about this? Because I'm black. It hurts to see people be against the hairstyle that you have and saying that this is better. Why is it better? Explain it to me. Give me a good enough reason of why having Venus with straight hair and blue eyes is better. Because that's the only thing I'm seeing where people only go, this is so much better, because they see blue eyes and straight hair. Like, the straight hair can be cute. They can have a really good reroot. I don't know how the process of rerooting, and nor am I going to try, but I'm flabbergasted of the people who know how. That's amazing. But I do get upset when people who are supposed to be in the same fandom as Monster High, where freaky is fabulous and having differences is a good thing and not being the same thing is great, when there are people be like, oh, she should have looked like this. Most of the characters of Gen 1 Monster High had the same hair. A lot of them have the same straight hair. Frankie, Draculaura, Venus, Rochelle, they all had straight hair. Granted, a lot of them had curly hair, like Operetta and Claudine and Laguna. They had curly hair. Oh yeah, Cleo had straight hair as well. But there was never like hair variations in the Monster High Gen 1, except for Honey Swamp and Claudine. She had a prototype doll. But Halloween had textured hair, but they took it away and gave her pink hair. I'm still sad about that. But Honey Swamp was their only character who had textured hair. That's sad. Out of the over 200 dolls that Monster High has had in their whole doll career, Honey Swamp and Halloween were the only ones. And that feels so strange to me. It's important to have dolls that look like me, because when I was little, I felt very outcasted. I didn't have anyone who looked like me besides Claudine as a doll form. Obviously, there was Black Barbie, but she had straight hair. She didn't look like me. She had blue eyes too. She didn't look like me. I don't have blue eyes. I don't have straight hair. Even when my hair's not like this, it's not straight. But at the end of the day, I have to always remember kindness. I feel like a lot of people forget about that. Like, being freaky fabulous is wonderful in Monster High, but you also have to remember kindness, because believe it or not, none of the Monster High characters at all would like what anybody is saying online about any of the doll's looks and stuff like that. Granted, I talk about Claudine's hair all the time because I feel like she should have black hair. Makes no sense in my head, as she is literally a black coded character in Gen 3, but she doesn't have textured hair. Don't look at Skulltimate Secrets. Like, Skulltimate Secrets makes me mad because her hair looks kind of crimped, but not all the time. Not all the time. And it does not help that when they're in the box, it like makes it worse, and then you have to take them out and fix them. I should not have to fix their hair. They should come out of the box looking nice. This video is getting way too long, and I'm not going to edit any of it because I want it to feel raw and real, of my real feelings. But the issue borderlines down to understanding that it's important to have hair that looks like ours. My thoughts aren't all together. Maybe I'll make a follow-up video. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe nobody will see this video. That's okay. But textured hair matters. We don't have a lot of dolls that have textured hair. Obviously, a few doll brands have done better, like MGA with LMG and a few of their Shadow High and Rainbow High dolls. They've had textured hair, and it's great. But with Monster High, it's basically new territory. And it's new territory that needs to be explored. Like, I want to see so many different hairstyles. And we should not limit the hairstyles to just being straight or slightly curly. I don't feel like that's fair to kids. Because not everybody has straight hair or slightly curly hair. A lot of us has textured hair. And that's super important. I know my thoughts are probably all over the place and they probably don't make sense because this is slightly emotional, but textured hair matters. My hair matters. All hair is beautiful. Nobody's saying straight hair is ugly, but textured hair sure isn't ugly. And if you're saying that, I thoroughly believe that you're rude. And everyone who will probably be like, why does it matter? It's just a doll. Well, because people deserve to see themselves represented in dolls. Like, we deserve to see that. Like, I deserve to see somebody who looks like me. Claudine was my person who looked like me, and so was Honey Swamp. But now Venus looks like me, and it's nothing against Gen 1 Venus or Gen 2 Venus. Like, they both exist. At least Mattel likes to say that they still exist, but they should show that more. But Gen 3 Venus is here to stay, and rerooting does a lot of damage. And I feel like the people who reroot them should understand that. Maybe own a couple more. Obviously, I've seen on the 2 posts that kind of like went wild. I've seen that people, they'll say that they own a couple Venuses, or they say they own one, but they wanted to get another one to see how it would look. That doesn't make me upset. I just want you to acknowledge in your comments that there are people who are going to say that this is better. You shouldn't, why is it better? Why is it better? And then the other person who rerooted them, gave them straight hair, but also gave them blue eyes. That person, it came off as so disingenuous because their comment section was messy. There was like 70 plus comments. It was messy, and that's the comment section where I found the textured hair is ugly comment. And I'm not racist about saying that. Like, yes, you are. Like, I don't care about preferences. That's something very rude to say to millions of people who have hair like mine. That's rude. It's very rude. But I just understand that rerooting them is doing a lot more damage than fun or like appreciation. Like, I am fine with people rerooting Venus. I am okay with it. It's just as long as they have more than one. If you only have one and you're rerooting them to have straight hair, why? Like, why? They literally come with an accessory that's meant to accentuate their hair. And then you take it away, it feels so, like, disingenuous. It feels like you're taking away something that matters. And I get it. This doll is mass-produced. It's supposed to be mass-produced. But there will come a time where, like, a few kids can't get this doll. And maybe they come down the line and they're like, oh man, I wanted a Gen 3 Venus doll, but they can't get it. Or they see some people rerooting it and they're like, what? She has straight hair? Why? Again, and I hate when people always bring up black people can have straight hair. Yeah, but majority of our hair is not naturally straight. It's a wig. It's not normal for our hair to be straight. And if it is straight, it takes a lot of time for it to get that way. And that's okay. But at the end of the day, just be kind. I don't see a lot of kindness over on Instagram about Monster High. There's always the war between Gen 1 and Gen 3 and who's better. Both are good. Even Gen 2. I don't like Gen 2, but it brought joy to at least some people, and that's important. But now I'm just kind of like, why is the world getting like this? Why can't we just be kind? Why is no one listening to Monster High's motto at the end of the day? Be yourself. Be unique. Be a monster. Be unique. Why should we follow Western beauty standards so hard? Because that's not how everybody looks. Everybody doesn't look like that. Not everybody is Western and white. Everyone's Western and white. That's like not fair. Like, I don't look like that. I'm not white. Black. African American. My ancestors hail from Africa. Like, I don't know. I'm probably rambling a lot, but that's just because I talk a lot. That's who I am as a person. I ramble a ton. But I don't know, this feels really important. So hi, people who know me from Instagram, and this is your first time seeing my face. I liked being anonymous. It was fun, but I don't know, this feels too important. And it feels like there's no people who are African American who are talking about like the harm that it does. And I just wanted to get on here and say how much harm that it does. As somebody who grew up not having a lot of stuff that looked like me, and now I have my own income and I can buy whatever I want and use my money how I please. And obviously the repainters and restylists can use their money how they please, but I'm just kind of, I'm over this like toxic situation. I'm over it because people even called it that people are gonna reroot them to have straight hair because they think it looks better. Why does it look better? I want you to explain that to me. Why? Simply because, like, because why? It shouldn't. That's not, all hair is so pretty, but you shouldn't just say, oh yeah, because I like straight hair better than textured hair or braided hair or dreadlocks. Like, that's not, it's not fair. But that's me. We can have a civilized discussion in the comments. Again, this video was not the best. Obviously, I don't have any fancy things. I can't like put up what happened on Instagram or put up what this happened or put up what that happened. Maybe I'll be able to like put down in the comment section the pictures of the ones I'm talking about. The comment section for the one that has blue eyes and straight hair for the Venus restyle slash reroot. Their comment section off. As I know of, the one who has just Venus with straight hair and just brown eyes and just in Gen 1 Venus's clothes, their comment section is still up. But I did notice that they got rid of the comments of a popular account called monstehigh.confessions. They go by Maple. I've talked to them a couple about this whole situation. I don't feel like the comments they left were harassment. A lot of people are saying it's harassment, especially the person who did the one reroot that left their eyes brown. I don't feel like it's harassment. I don't think it's harassment. I hope they don't feel attacked. It's just, I want people to just understand why it is harmful and just understand that it's beautiful. Because I saw the comments that they were leaving to other people and it didn't ever seem like they were rude. But I don't feel like they should have blocked Monster High Confessions. But if they want to do that, they can live their truth. It's okay. No beef with them, because I never responded. It's just telling people to understand. And there was also some comments about Venus's braids. Their braids are supposed to be dreads. Like, a lot of people keep forgetting that their braids are supposed to be dreadlocks. In the show, they obviously have dreadlocks. It's not like it's no Western braid, or it's not Viking braids. It's black braids. Like, the hair on my head right now would not do well on somebody who was white. It would pull out their hair and stuff, because their hair is not built to have this style in their head. And a lot of people forget that when they get hairstyles like this and they're white. But I feel like I've said what I need to say. We can have a gentle discussion. Probably this is really messy. That's okay. I'm a person, and I wanted it to be real. I wanted to feel like I had to say what I had to say, and I don't want this to get over like more than like an hour. It's already like 30 minutes, but that's what I have to say. Kind discussions, I will not be tolerating anybody who says anything rude about this whole situation. We can discuss generally about what's okay, what's not okay. Maybe I'll make a follow-up of what styles are good and how many Venuses you need. I mean, I feel like if you have one and then you get another one and you want to reroot them, I feel like that's okay. I don't feel like it's the worst thing in the world. I feel like that's what the person who had just the straight hair and not the brown eyes. But I don't know about the person who has just who had the blue eyes and the straight hair. I don't know, but that's it. I'll probably maybe make a follow-up video, have a better, like, my thoughts more concise and stuff, because this is just like a spur of the moment, just like ranting a little bit. But yeah, that's me. Yeah, thanks. Be kind. Stay freaky fabulous.